Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that. And also, if there is any lag to this video, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2022 related video here on my channel. Right now, as I'm recording the video you're watching now, it is Saturday the 7th of May, and ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 week away from the grand final of the 66th edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, taking place at the Palaolimpico in Turin in Italy, where 25 participants will battle it out for the win. Before that, 2 semi-finals, next Tuesday and Thursday, to whittle down the list of participants. And what I'm going to be doing in this video, once again, is going through today's batch of rehearsals. Not too many today, just the automatic finalists taking to the stage for a second time. Of course, what this now means is that we've seen snippets of the TV footage that we'll be getting next week for all 40 nations. And we're at that point now where we can start to make perhaps better predictions than what we originally had. There'll be a whole bunch of videos from me next week, previews, reviews, final predictions for the results and things like that. So if you're interested, stick around. Links in the description as always to my other social media pages, check them out if you so wish. There will be another blog post later on just going through what I'm going through in this video now. And also keep an eye on my Twitter page because I will be posting bits and pieces as and when too. So I've got my notebook here, I've got a video loaded up just to remind me what's happened today. So without further ado, let's get going. Should say, we now know which half of the grand final the automatic finalists will be in. That was decided via a random draw earlier today after each act had their rehearsal. The UK is the only automatic qualifier performing in the second half. France, Italy, Spain and Germany will be on in the first half, and of course we know Italy, we've known this for ages, will be song 9 next Saturday night. I have a feeling Spain will close that first half. I have a feeling the UK might be on last with that massive prop. So let's go through them. France were the first country to take to the stage today. Alvan and eigth with Foulaine. I have the French flag here. Wahey, I'm well prepared. Yes indeed. Le Marseillaise and all that. So, what I've written here is not too different from the national final. It really isn't. We've got the green lights. We've got that smoky, dark, mysterious, odd atmosphere. It's really coming across in that 45-second clip or so. Vocals aren't too bad. You've got the girls on this sort of stone platform behind Alvan, and he's just doing, you know, his thing, and the girls are swinging about like this. It feels very cultish, but not in a bad way. I'm sure you've all seen the rehearsal footage anyway. There does seem to be these patterns on the arches of the sun behind them. Whether that's some sort of projection or not, I don't know, but it looks pretty cool. And even the camera angles, you know, those quick zoom-ins, a sort of crash zoom I think it's called, and then the zooming out again, very similar to how it was at the national final many, many weeks ago. So let me just take a look here at this video, just to sort of refresh my memory. Yeah, flames, smoke, very green, black outfits. Still feels a bit empty. I mean, I know that there's 4 people on stage, isn't there? But it still feels as though there could be a little something extra. I don't know if there is or not, whether there's a dancer. Yeah, anyway, it's looking and sounding really nice, and I think France could do very well, particularly in the public half of the results. We then move on to the host nation. Here we go. Let me get the flag up here. Yes, whoops. Italy, wahey, recognise this flag from this time last year, I'm sure some of you do. So Italy, of course, the host nation. We know the song Brividi, Chills, by Mahmoud and Blanco. The two of them were on stage this time because Blanco has been on tour recently. The vocals weren't bang on the money, but they were still fine. If anything, I think they're a little bit exhausted. Maybe they are saving themselves for next Saturday night, and why not? We know the harmonies are tight. We know this is a very serious contender to win. Let me just remind myself here. Couple of wide shots in the rehearsal footage, flashing lights everywhere that sort of come down across the backdrop. Doesn't look the prettiest because you can see the lighting rigs, of course, but still, the whole thing isn't too bad. Obviously, that big black semicircle is a bit unappealing. Yeah, white outfit for Blanco. What is Mahmoud wearing? He's in a black outfit. It's really very nice. I mean, we know that Italy are going to bring it because they usually do. This is a serious contender to win. It might feel a bit underwhelming when you put it next to the other rehearsals today, certainly. It's not one that's really popping out at me, maybe because it's such a low-key track. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Yeah, I know a few people online have already said, since they took to the stage earlier today, that this left them feeling a bit cold or underwhelmed. Yeah, I can see why, but still not bad. Let's now move on then to our lad, Sam Ryder. Hey! Go on, me old mucker. Let's get the flag out. Yes. Ta-da! The UK. Whoops-a-daisy. Nearly knocking my stuff off the wall there in excitement. Sam Ryder, we all know it. Spaceman. He's in this sort of black, is it a jumpsuit sort of thing? And it's adorned with silver space-related patterns, which looks pretty cool. Vocals, very nice. I think he's alone on stage. He's in that sort of massive cage, which lights up. I know later on this unfurls, and I think there's a golden lighting to it. Plus, there's an electric guitar solo. Obviously, he's not really playing the electric guitar, but that is a new element to the song and the performance. Very interesting. I think there's pyros. We know there's smoke. It's a huge step forwards for the UK at Eurovision. It really is. He looks so confident. He's really into it, really feeling it. His blonde hair whipping back behind him. Oh, man. I mean, I feel very confident of a top 10 finish for the UK this year, I really do, but I'm also not getting carried away because we know that public mark could be a crushing disappointment once again. But when you compare this to James Newman, Michael Rice, Surrey, not that they were absolutely terrible, but this is clearly a huge step up, just in terms of effort, just in terms of vocals, I suppose, actually, just in terms of the whole package. It's just that public mark. It's got to be really high, because I think the juries will love this, maybe even have it in their top 3 at the end of the night, and then when the public votes come in, yeah, we might slip down a few places. It could be a Jade Ewan situation. I think she was about 9th or 10th with the public, and 5th or 4th with the juries, can't quite remember, and then we finished 5th overall. Maybe something similar will happen again a week today. Now, before I finish bleating on about Sam Ryder and the UK's chances, we are the 4th favourites to win, I believe, at this moment in time, but we were one of the favourites to win even before the song was released. So the fact that we've managed to stay up there is very impressive. Unprecedented times, ladies and gentlemen. I want to read this article, which I haven't even really looked at myself. Feel free to skip forwards a few minutes here if you're not interested. But this was in a British newspaper today, and it's called Eurovision. Is it performance or politics that nets us nul point? And this was written by Nick Duffy and Luella May Eleftheriou Smith. Here it is. It's a whole page spread. There's our boy, Sam Ryder. Go on, my lad. Let's see what it says. So yeah, bit of a ramble here. Political messages are banned at Eurovision. It is what makes the multicoloured parade of European cultures on the night such a fun ride. But Russia's expulsion this year, following its invasion of Ukraine, will ensure that geopolitics are right at the heart of next week's contest in Turin, and some suspect they always have been. Ukraine's entry, Kalish Orchestra, is attending the competition against the odds, which will make for emotional viewing. The group received special permission to travel to the host country, given that fighting-age men are not permitted to leave, and they are currently the bookies' favourite. Now, if you ask me, and I've said this before, the fact that they are so clear the favourites to win with the betting odds, I find very surprising. I think this is a very open year myself. Anyway, it says here, the EBU, which organises the contest, had previously come down hard on countries trying to push political messages. They mentioned Georgia's 2009 entry, which was booted out. Then it says here, the EBU's decision to uninvite Russia this year is arguably the closest it has come to making a political stand. Paul Jordan, aka Dr. Eurovision, tells the newspaper that after the EBU was faced with mass boycotts, it realised Russia's position was untenable. He says the country's removal marks the first time organisers have actually owned up to the politics of it and realised they do have a duty. Suspicions that international politics play a big role in deciding the results of the contest go back a long way. Terry Wogan, famed for his sardonic commentary, ended his 38-year involvement with the competition after complaining that bloc voting led to Russia winning in 2008 for political reasons. But Paul Jordan argues that the idea that countries play politics in Eurovision is over-egged, especially by the UK press. When coverage focuses on the UK's placement or accuses nations of voting only for their neighbours, it is easy to forget it is simply a TV show. This year's final will open with a performance called The Sound of Peace. William Lee Adams, founder of Wee Wee Blogs, said producers have to nod to the war or risk looking completely tone deaf. But it doesn't mean Ukraine is a shoo-in this year. William Lee Adams says their Beastie Boys meets Ukrainian folk rap entry wouldn't normally be in contention for the trophy, but admits the war could push things in their favour, at least in the public vote. The UK gained a painful score of 0 last year and has barely made a mark in 2 decades, unless you count coming last 5 times. For some, this can be explained by a European dislike of the UK, exacerbated by Brexit. But fans and the experts who have followed Eurovision for decades have another explanation. They say bad songs, yes, poor staging, certainly, and artists rarely drawn from the top tier of British musical culture, not a necessity, are what is really behind the UK's performance. Adams points to the best UK entries in recent years. Blue came 11th in 2011, Jade Ewan 5th in 2009, evidence that we can do well when we put in the work. It's not about Europe hating us or Europe loving us, it's about what we serve to Europe. There have been instances where what we served was delicious and appetising to lots of people. Jordan points out that the UK still has a strong record overall, with 5 victories and 15 second places. If that was Russia in the top 2 for 20 contests, it would be seen as a fix. But when it comes to the UK, we view ourselves as hard done by. Spain hasn't won since 1969. They don't bleat on about being hated. Don't they? Anyway, the UK apparently does. We've been making these excuses right back since Gemini got 0 points in 2003, which we blamed on the Iraq War, rather than the fact that the performance was terrible. William Lee Adams agrees. Honestly, I don't think 14-year-old girls in Romania at a slumber party are thinking about EU fishing rights or Brexit when they vote. Of course they're not. They couldn't give a flying toss. The tendency for some countries to give good scores to their neighbours is often linked by critics to supposed political allegiances, but these notable voting cliques, Greece and Cyprus often swap 12, Scandinavian countries score each other highly, as do Balkan states, we'll see that a lot this year I'm sure, could just as easily be based on shared culture and language. The idea of neighbours voting for each other for political reasons is weirdly overstated. It's much more to do with shared cultural touchpoints than any sort of political bond. Estonia and Latvia have large Russian-speaking populations, says Jordan, while countries such as Serbia and Slovenia know each other's artists and sometimes they sing in the same language. A lot of Eurovision groups have gone through reality TV routes, appearing in neighbouring Got Talent or X Factor programmes, or on each other's radio stations. For many, it is music, not politics, that has led to British failure in the past. While pop powerhouse Sweden is a real trendsetter in the competition that turns out contemporary acts, the UK has traditionally had more of a Radio 2 and Saturday night prime time mindset when it comes to Eurovision. We've just not taken it that seriously. Then there's a final paragraph talking about Sam Ryder and his TikTok success. When politics does pop up, it's not always bad. Estonia won in 2001 when it was trying to join the EU. Its government was keen to promote a positive international image, and Eurovision allowed them to do that by hosting it for the first time since independence. And Finland's Krista Siegfrids staged her 2013 performance for Finland as a same-sex wedding a year before her nation adopted equal marriage. But it's not always good. They talk about Russia and Ukraine, Azerbaijan and Armenia, who no doubt will completely blank each other again in the results this year, if that's a possibility. So there we go, what a ramble. Do let me know your thoughts on that article, though, quite interesting. Certainly it seems as though a lot of the press here in the UK are being quite positive about our chances this year. Shall we go back to the rehearsals? Let's talk about, well, wrapping up with the UK. It just looks and sounds really nice, very space age, quite futuristic. And he's bringing it. Fair play to him. Spain next. Oh, don't vote for Chanel. We wanted Tanchugueiras. Don't vote. Don't vote. Oh my God, Chanel is sensational. This is the best thing we've ever sent to Eurovision. I mean, two sides of the coin with Spanish fans this year. Chanel slow-mo. What can you say about this that hasn't already been said? Let's get the Spain flag. This is it, I think. España. Sí, sí, maravilloso. Look at that. It's upside down, isn't it, I think? Is it? I think so. It's also back to front. But you can tell it's the Spain flag. Yes, indeed. Sí, sí. Gusto mucho. So Spain, yeah. Wow. It's sexy. It's fierce. She looks fabulous. I mean, she's in this black outfit with sort of silver jewels all over it. She's strutting her stuff. Cheeky smile. She knows she's doing a good job. That's the thing. That confidence just breathes through the screen at you. It's fantastic. She's got dancers there in black outfits, although the guys are pretty much topless as well. Bopping about. That strobe light effect when they're singing slow-mo, mo, 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 looks absolutely fabulous as well. That's a really nice, very simple, effective touch. You've also got these lights that come down behind the arches. The sun does not seem to be a big issue here. Yep, white lights. I think there's also a reddish tinge to them at one point. Oh man, it's so playful. It's sexy, but it's not oozing pure sex appeal, and that's it. You know, there is some substance to this track as well, if you ask me. Spain are in the first half. They might close the first half. This is surely going to be Spain's best result for a long time. Decent vocals, nice energy, absolutely fabulous from start to finish. And this song is really, really popular. The points will surely pour in. Let's move on to Germany then. Aha! I do have a Deutschland flag, yeah. Here it is. Yeah, look at that. Had this flag for years. So Germany, Malik Harris with Rockstars. Shall we be ruthless? Yeah, this is coming last in the final probably, isn't it? Let's be honest. I don't want it to come last, but I really can't see a situation in which this doesn't finish right near the bottom once again. They've gone for a very gentle, stripped back style performance, almost as if they've just brought a recording studio onto stage. You know, there's a piano drum kit for some reason. He's got the acoustic guitar. He's playing this drum machine as well at one point in the rehearsal clip. It's very, very simplistic, but it does sort of fit in with the very low-key, gentle melody of the track. He's very passionate. He sings quite well, but also in this very relaxed style. The song has grown on me, but I don't know. It's not captivating enough for the neutral viewer, the neutral listener. People listening to this might be bored by it. Got to be honest. He's on in the first half. He could be on within the first 5 songs. His chances are shot to pieces, I'm afraid. Really harsh, but we've got to be honest here and say that a very good result is unlikely. The juries might appreciate this quite a bit, but the public can't see it happening. Very casually dressed. There is a very raw feel to the performance. Not really much happening on the backdrop, I don't think. Couldn't really tell. I haven't seen the photo album. But there we are. It's fine, but it just does not stand out enough. And once we have the grand final lineup this time next week, that song will be lost in the mix. I hate to say it, because he's certainly not the problem here. The song just isn't quite arresting enough, even for a ballad. So there we go. Boom! Let me close that book up. Nothing more to say. That's it. Every country has rehearsed twice. What I am going to do now is finish this short blog post regarding the rehearsals today, watch a couple more videos, see what people are making of things. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm genuinely interested. And I don't think there'll be a video from me tomorrow because I don't think anything is happening. Maybe they could fix the arches. I don't know. Let's move on from that now. I've heard enough about it. But next week is the week. It's finally here, ladies and gentlemen. This time next week, we will be a few hours away from crowning our next Eurovision winner. And we can start thinking about where next year's contest will be. Will it be Milan 2023, Gothenburg 2023, Manchester 2023, Kyiv 2023, Warsaw? I don't think it would be Warsaw, but still, somewhere in Poland, 2023. Belgrade, 2023. Who knows? It's exciting guessing, but obviously when the results are pouring in, we will be on the edges of our seats, waiting to see exactly what happens. Can't wait for it, and until next time, hopefully the quality wasn't too bad. Do let me know what you think. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Ciao for now.